Some of the easiest vegetables to grow are some of the leafy greens. If you have had trouble with lots of different things, plant bok choy. Even when I end up ignoring my garden and forgetting about it and stuff doesn't do well, my bok choy always grows. So if you need a success, plant bok choy, or even like collard greens or mustard greens can be pretty easy. If you want to do tomatoes and some of the other fruiting type vegetables, start with a tried and true veggie variety, tomato variety, like Celebrity or Better Boy. Those are varieties that are pretty disease resistant and will help get you some success in your garden. Check out our vegetable gardening seminar video, and that'll give you all the basics for growing healthy, delicious vegetables. It's an easy answer, and it has a simple solution as well. So what you see there is what's called leaf miner. There's a lot of adult insects, either flies or moths usually, that lay their eggs in the leaf really, and then the larva of that insect feeds and creates that track that you see. It can certainly damage a plant. They love new tender leaves, so we want to get it under control before it overtakes our vegetable plants. What we'll use to treat it is Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew. The active ingredient is spinosad. Spray in the evenings, probably twice a week if you see a really bad issue, and that'll help to treat the problem. Also, cut off any of the worst leaves. Leaf miner larvae don't jump from one leaf to another. Once they're in a particular leaf, that's where they stay. And so if you get those leaves physically out of there, you remove a whole generation of leaf miners and get those plants clean and healthy. The problem is probably pollination. So zucchinis, squashes, and any in that family have male and female flowers. The male flowers will stand up tall on a stalk, kind of up to the top of the plant, and the female flowers will be down lower at the base, and there'll always be a little squash or a little zucchini attached to the flower. That'll make you think that a vegetable has started, but until that flower actually pollinates, the little zucchini or squash won't swell and grow. So we need bees to pollinate those flowers. So companion planting, things like heather, salvia, or other pollinator attractors can be a helpful way to get bees into your garden. That way they'll pollinate your zucchini or squash flowers, and you'll actually get some great vegetables. For raised beds or for planting vegetables in the ground, the best soil is going to be a rich, well-drained soil. Our favorite mix is about 50% of our Kirby's planting soil, which adds richness, active microbes, good nutrients for your plants, with about 50% topsoil, which adds some nice density, helps those roots develop and have something to hold on to. That's our favorite mix of soil for both raised beds and in the ground. So it's called blossom end rot, and what you'll see is a dark circle and some rot at the end of the tomato where the blossom would have been. And it's actually caused by a calcium deficiency. So although it looks like rot and you might think that it's a disease, it's actually the plant not having enough calcium. So you can spray a yield booster spray, which will have calcium in it, to immediately get that calcium into the plant and help to correct that deficiency. If you have a known problem with your soil, you can also add lime into the soil, but you have to do that about a month before you plant. So it's not something you can do to correct right away. Use the spray if you're having that issue, and hopefully you'll get yummy, ripe tomatoes. So we talk a lot about insect pests when it comes to our gardens, but there's also other vermin that can get in there, right? We've got squirrels, raccoons, possums, different critters that are in our yards, and even our pets. I've got chickens, they love to get into my garden, and now our little dog loves running around in it as well. I also have two little girls, and they like to jump around the vegetable bed sometimes. So for some of our pets, physically keeping them out is probably the best way. There's nothing that's going to repel like a dog from getting into your vegetable beds. So even just doing a short fence, 3 foot of chicken wire around the beds can help to keep those critters out. When it comes to squirrels and things like that, it is difficult. We've never found like an absolute way to keep them out. Sometimes like a chili pepper kind of sprinkle can help keep the squirrels away. Using those old techniques like a scarecrow, some folks will hang old CDs, you remember what those are, right? And just the reflections can help scare some of those critters away. So you have to be creative a little bit to keep some of the bigger vermin out of our vegetable garden, but I'm sure we'll get it protected. That way you've got fresh, healthy harvests.